Okay, I can't see the chat. This is my first time doing this. Okay, all right, well, I am live. This is my first time going live on YouTube, so I'm not sure if anyone will show up. So I will go ahead and just kind of start the video. The reason I decided to try the YouTube lives is the main obstacle lately on me being active on YouTube has been the editing. So my hope is maybe to do like a weekly YouTube live where I can do product reviews. I don't know what's going on with my hair, and just kind of go from there. I can't see the chat, so if someone were to join, I don't know, hopefully I'll be able to see it. But anyway, so that's the kind of goal going forward, is to do a weekly YouTube live if this goes as planned. And today I'm going to be doing a kind of brand review of small underhyped skincare brands. So Trade in the background, of course. And this is going to be the US version. So if you guys like this, I can absolutely do like an international version. There are some incredible brands from the UK, as well as Australia and Europe, that definitely deserve more hype and are smaller kind of brands with some amazing products. So I can do that version if you guys like this. I could do like a K-beauty version of brands that not a lot of people talk about. I also have a Geek and Gorgeous review planned. I've tested a ton of their products. I'm a huge fan. So if we like these, I can definitely do more of these. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Once I post this, I will add a link to the giveaway in the description. It didn't let me do this as I was going live, again, first YouTube live here, so hopefully it's not, I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to see the chat. If somebody joins and wants to say hi, maybe post in the chat so I can kind of see. Again, first YouTube live here, so we're figuring out as I go. Okay, so today these are all going to be US products. They're all small brands, and they're all, I think, really amazing brands that, oh, okay, hi, thank you, Jenna, thank you, Tammy. I've never done the YouTube live, so I was like, I can't see the chat. Okay, they pop up as you guys comment. That's cool. Okay, well, good morning, Jenna. Good morning, Tammy. I'm just gonna kind of roll right into it. And I'm sorry for the train in the background, just so that anyone watching this back isn't like annoyed, because I know I would be. Hi Stephanie, thanks for joining me. Okay, so again, US version, I can do a UK/Australia/Europe version of underhyped brands. I can do a K-beauty version, and then I also have brand reviews on Geek and Gorgeous, and Regimen Labs coming soon as well. So hopefully I can kind of do this in a concise way and we can make it a regular thing. There is a giveaway going. Can I post it? See, I can't comment in the chat, otherwise I would post the link. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. But all these products I'm going to be talking about today are going to be given away. So make sure you enter the giveaway, and I'll put it in the description and in the top pinned comment when I close the live. Okay, so the first brand that I'm going to be talking about is Stratia Skin. They are a small, kind of more indie brand. I've been using them since before they launched. I was a beta tester. Their owner, Allie, had her own blog. It's called the Acid Queen blog. It's actually still up if you want to kind of check it out. She actually posts her original form. She is really knowledgeable. And at that time in the K-beauty space, it was really interesting. There was like a lot of OG K-beauty bloggers that a lot of people followed, like 50 Snails, Snow White and the Asian Pear. A lot of these blogging was the thing in K-beauty. And before Stratia, the brand Holy Snails had come around. A lot of people were using their niacinamide serum, and that's kind of why Allie had gotten into it originally. She has like more dry, sensitive skin, so if you have that skin type, I think you're much more likely to really enjoy Stratia. The products that I'm going to be featuring today is going to be actually the two OG products that I was a beta tester for. So this is the liquid gold. This is a fresh bottle, so let me see if I can get it to pump out here. You can see why it was named that. This is like a really rich lotion. So I actually like to use it as a booster. Like I will add a pump of this into a richer moisturizer. You could use it by itself too. That's just kind of what I enjoy. It has niacinamide, which supports the skin barrier, and it's anti-aging. It kind of can help with regulating sebum production. Just a really great ingredient, but it also combines ceramides and cholesterol and fatty acids. So this moisturizer is really all about the skin barrier. Skin barrier health, you know, is a really important factor in a lot of skin disorders, like if you have acne, if you have rosacea, and it can also be a factor in sensitive skin. They have found sensitive skin is tricky because a lot of the symptoms are kind of self-reported. They found a lot of people who who reported symptoms of sensitive skin had like depleted skin barrier lipids and other kind of signs of an impaired barrier. So really great product. I've been using this off and on for years. I've gotten this probably like I couldn't even tell you how many bottles I've used. I was trying to think. And then if I had to pick though, I think that the Rewind, if I had to pick one, it would probably be the Rewind, just because I think this is such a special serum. You can see this one is halfway used. I have finished like probably 4 bottles already this year, even with testing a bunch of other things. So this serum is like a little bit, even though it's a little more runny, it does have like a syrupy texture, so I like to apply it on damp skin. This serum is really multi-purpose. Like, it's a simple formula. I think it's only like 18 bucks or so. They recently adjusted some prices, so it should be 18. What's interesting about this is even though there's a really simple formula, it's really potent, and it's really smartly formulated. So they have niacinamide like this guy, but they've added in N-acetylglucosamine. This is a precursor for hyaluronic acid in the skin. It's kind of a all-star kind of multi-purpose skincare ingredient in its own right. It helps with the skin barrier, it helps the skin kind of better exfoliate itself, it has brightening abilities, and it can potentially help the skin form more hyaluronic acid. Paired with niacinamide though, they really enhance each other's effects. There was a study done where they were more brightening together. Hi Bree, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I'm a little nervous on the YouTube. It's just so different from Instagram and Facebook. So hopefully it all goes smoothly. So this is really a great for anti-aging, for brightening, for helping with hydration. A lot of products, I don't know if I have an example, a lot of products help with hydration short term, like your hyaluronic acid, your glycerin, your amino acids. So those are short term, like that day. This has a lot of ingredients with the panthenol and the niacinamide and the N-acetylglucosamine that help the skin, have better hydration over time, which is really important. I recommend this often to like mature skin for that reason, since as estrogen hormones decline in the skin as we get older, we see less hyaluronic acid in the top layer. So I love these both. I've tried the full Stratia line. They don't make any bad products, honestly. They have a very gentle retinol cream if you're just starting out or if you can't tolerate stronger retinoids. They have a mandelic acid, which is really well formulated. Some mandelic acids are more geared toward like oily skin. Their Soft Touch AHA is really hydrating and bright. That's a cattail behind me, just so you guys aren't like, what is that? He likes to stand behind me. I was in a actually like a Zoom call meeting one time, and I was wearing a black shirt and his tail was like this behind me, and it freaked out the person that I was talking about. So joys of being at home with COVID and stuff. I don't know what happened, you guys. I think I'm back. Sorry if it kicked anyone out. I don't know what okay, well, I will keep talking. Sorry if it kicked anyone out. It said that it stopped for a second, so I'll give you guys, okay, I think it's back. Sorry about that. I think it cut me off. I was just saying that the CeraVe Hydrant Cleanser is similar to the Stratia cleanser. The Stratia has a cleaner rinse. Their vitamin C is really smartly formulated as well. They use an ascorbic acid with a C derivative called THG. There's some data indicating that THG can help with the penetration of the ascorbic acid. So it's just a really smart formula. They have like very simple, effective formula. Hi, there was some connection issues. So I'm not sure what, I think it's fixed now, so sorry about that. And then it's also my first live, so I don't know if I'll try to kind of figure out. I think you have to have notifications on. We'll keep working on it. Hi Heidi, welcome. Okay, I'm glad that the connection came back. It stopped for a second. Yeah, Stratia is great. Again, like they have very simple formulas, but they're very effective. They're affordable. I haven't tried a bad product from them. And again, in general, if you have more dry or more sensitive skin, I think that you will love this line. Okay, the next brand that I'm going to chat about, and if you were in the live, I guess we'll talk Dermalure next. So they do peels. I don't know if you can kind of see up here on the ledge. I have a bunch of like skincare books, sorry. But I have the red carpet peel from Dermalure up there. I have the Jessners. They do excellent peels. They're professional grade peels, so they're, you know, definitely don't want to mess around with them. They are unbuffered, you know, they have a very low pH. I mean, it's a true professional grade peel. So they have excellent peels. But I tend to be, I don't know if anyone else is a major Amazon Prime junkie like I am. I tend to kind of like browse the internet depending on like if I'm looking for a particular product, like I want a specific vitamin C, or I'm looking for a certain antioxidant. So I tend to like browse the internet looking for different skincare finds. And that's how I found their original vitamin C plus serum. And I didn't realize that they had regular skincare, and I already liked their peels, so I ordered this guy back in November, and I've been using it ever since. My first bottle lasted about 7 or 8 months before I considered it too oxidized to be used. So this is a very stable formula, and this is due to the really low pH. It's a pH 1.9. This keeps it very stable. It also really gets that ascorbic acid into the skin. If you guys know of Bradceuticals, the doctor behind the Bradceuticals brand, Dr. Pinnell, he really did all the original research behind, you know, ascorbic acid, and really like, that's the OG formula. Oh, I think I have to answer them right away, or oh, okay. Heidi, I couldn't find your Dermalure. The red carpet is only on their website. I think it's because it's a stronger peel. It has TCA, it has retinaldehyde, it has AHAs and BHA, as well as phenol. So it's a very potent peel, and it's only sold on their website. What is up with my hair today? I don't know. I'm so sorry, you guys. I am like, I don't know what I was thinking. It looked good, I thought, earlier, and then I sit down, I'm like, holy hell. Yeah, so the red carpet and some of their stronger peels like the TCA is on the Dermalore website only. So this guy, again, Dr. Pinnell, in his original research, you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt, because some of the studies were done on pig skin, you know, so we just kind of have to keep that in mind. But they basically found that, you know, under pH 3.5, the ascorbic acid will get into the skin, but between pH 2 and pH 3 is when you're going to get that optimal absorption. So this really gets into the skin, and it's going to be really stable. It has a very light texture, so if you're more oily to combo, this is going to be great. I didn't forget my water today. Anyone who's watched me live knows that like once my mouth gets dry, I lose the ability to talk and I stutter like crazy. So great if you are more combo to oily, or if you're dry like me, I will pair it with this Kate Ryan product that I'll talk about in a little bit. Great combo. The other thing I like about this a lot is this has glutathione. So this glutathione is an enzymatic antioxidant. It's naturally occurring in the skin. They kind of call it the master antioxidant. What's really cool about it though is it functions as an antioxidant pair with the vitamin C. So once the vitamin C gets oxidized, you know, through use, the glutathione can reduce, excuse you, he's mad that I'm ignoring him. You're gonna have to go in a sec because my skincare's up here. It can reduce the ascorbic acid. It can help the skin reduce the ascorbic acid back to an active form. So it's kind of a cool combination here. I don't know if it maybe contributes to the stability. And then you also have the ferulic acid, which basically enhances the protection of this product by 4 times with the vitamin C. So great product. They also have the intensive night serum that they came out with. I've had this guy since March. I do prefer the original if I had to pick, just because hyperpigmentation isn't my concern. And the texture on this isn't quite as light. It's not like sticky or anything, just a little bit less cosmetically elegant, and it doesn't quite stay as stable. Does Dermalore have lower potency glycolic acid peels? So you can actually just get a 40, what I recommend people do, so like this is a 40% from ASDM, get the 40% and just dilute it, because that way you're not spending like a bunch of money getting the 10, 20, 30, 40. You can just get, as long as it's like a water-based, you know, the base is water, like glycolic acid, just a water-soluble molecule, you can just dilute it. So 1, you know, teaspoon peel, to 1 teaspoon water would be 50-50. So that would bring a 40% down to a 20%. Just use distilled water and then don't save it. You know, just dilute what you're about to use. That way you can, you know, get a lot out of a single bottle. You can work your way, you can start at 10%, leave it on the skin for a minute or two, remove it, work your way up in time, and then work your way up in concentration. That way, you know, you're not buying like, just, you know, save your money. So just, I'd recommend diluting the 40%, and same with the Dermalore. So last thing I'll say on the night serum, this has a lot of added pigment inhibitors, so it's great for hyperpigmentation. It has azelaic acid, has tranexamic acid, arbutin, and a few others. And they've also increased the percentage of the glutathione on this, as well as I think the ferulic acid. So this is good as a, even though it says night serum, I don't think this is a replacement for like a hydroquinone or a stronger azelaic acid. I think this is a great morning vitamin C for someone who has hyperpigmentation. So these are great, their vitamin C's are great, as well as their peels are fantastic. The next brand, I guess we'll do the Kate Ryan since I was talking about that pairing. So the first product that I tried from Kate Ryan was the vitamin C, the daytime one. So they have a night and a day. The only difference between the two is the nighttime version is in a squalene base, so it's oil based. Squalene, I don't know why I said squalene, maybe I need more water. That can be a little bit heavier, so I do like this one. This is really potent, so I like to really mix it because you have a lot of antioxidants in here. And you can kind of hopefully see, it's very, like, so you can see there's a ton of antioxidants in here, so you really want to mix it and stir it. It really needs a good shake. So it's very potent. It has 20% THD, which is a C derivative, and there's just a huge amount of other antioxidants in here, from niacinamide to various, you know, plant-based or plant-based antioxidants. I think there's a little bit of alpha lipoic acid. It's just really potent and very concentrated. So concentrated that I only use about, even though it's a 15 ml bottle, it lasts me a long time. Because I only use a couple drops. So I will use like 2 drops on really damp skin, or I'll add a couple drops in with another product. So this is a good option if you are sensitive and dry, and you can't tolerate an ascorbic acid. I would say that if you have like more, so there's a difference between very reactive skin and sensitive skin. Like some people have sensitive skin, meaning they can't use anything overly irritating. Some people though just have a lot of ingredient triggers. So this has a lot of antioxidants in here. So if you have a lot of ingredient triggers, it might not be for you, but otherwise it's great for sensitive skin. For ingredient triggers, I would try the Mugu vitamin C and squalene. That one is great. So I've used this a really long time, and the reason, again, I like it with an ascorbic acid is that THG is going to enhance the penetration of the ascorbic acid into the skin, so they pair really nicely together. It adds a little bit more of a moisturizing feel since this is really light. The other thing too, and I harp on this all the time, so hopefully you haven't heard it a million times, is different antioxidants protect differently. So a water-based antioxidant, a water-soluble antioxidant, is going to more protect like the cytoplasm, like the fluid kind of in between the cells, where an oil-based antioxidant like THG is going to more, you know, protect like the cell membranes. We also have enzymatic antioxidants, you know, which are like our own antioxidant defenses in the skin. Those work differently. So we know that they protect differently, and we also know that when we pair antioxidants together, they enhance the results of the other one. So that's why I like to get like a wide array, and I'm really big on that. I don't like really simple antioxidant formulas. The other thing, let me take a sip of water so I'm not out of breath here. And hopefully so that no one watching this back is like, she takes forever. The other product, this is a more recent favorite from Kate Ryan, is their EGF serum. I was so skeptical when this came out, funny enough. Some of you, I think Monica from the group had posted it, asking my thoughts. And I was like, I don't really like plain EGF serums. I don't really use them. I like something like the Bradceuticals, which we'll get on. This is a cell culture conditioned media, which has a wide array of growth factors, which are like these little signaling molecules in the skin. And they all work together in the skin. So it just doesn't, it's never made sense to me. Hi Amelia. Yes, I'm gonna do, I think maybe next week, I'll do a full review. Like we'll do another YouTube live like Wednesday and I can do a full Geek and Gorgeous review if you want. I've tried a ton from them. I placed a second order. I've worked my way through them. I've been testing them for months. So I like to test products really thoroughly before I talk about them. And I've been testing them all for months and I really like the brand. There's one product that I'm like, I could take it or leave it. Everything else, is great. Oh, thank you, Cho. I think I have to tap it to make the comment come up. Thank you, Cho. Yeah, I'm a little nervous because I was trying to, you have to take I don't know if anyone has taken or has done a YouTube live, you have to take like a thumbnail. I think next time I'm gonna do it before and save it because I was like, it took me off guard. You press take a thumbnail and it goes 3, 2, 1. I was like, with this awful face, I had to retake it a couple times because I was like, it's an interesting process. It threw me off. Okay, thank you, Cho, for hanging out. He does a wonderful skincare commentary, and you should definitely check him out if you're not already. Okay, so super skeptical because growth factors don't work by themselves in the skin. They all have a specific like task that they're assigned to. Like if you're doing oh, you didn't know that too. Yeah, it completely threw me off guard. I was like, I have not had enough coffee for this. It was the worst face I've ever made, and I was like, oh my god, what if it doesn't let me retake it? Luckily it did. So growth factors each have a specific task, like wound healing, for example. They're all gonna play their own little role, and they also all work locally. So you don't have one molecule like working all throughout the skin, and they work in a specific area. So EGF, you'd never see EGF by itself in a formula. And most of the research is done on the cell culture conditioned media types, which have a wide array of those growth factors. So super skeptical, even though I love Kate Ryan. And I ended up reaching, I was reading on the website, I was talking to Erica, who is the owner. It's owned by a mother and daughter, wonderful people behind the brand. And I actually really liked, we've got cats trying to sneak in here. I actually really liked the concept behind this product. So they didn't want to do, it's a lot for a brand, to get like a cell culture conditioned medium, you have to work through, like you have to usually go through a biotech company who sources stem cells from volunteers. Like bone marrow stem cells are very difficult to donate, can be kind of painful. They take these stem cells, they culture them, and they remove the stem cells, and then you can buy the conditioned media. It's really expensive for brands, and there's a lot of safety that goes into it. So they instead mimic that with vitamins and amino acids and other ingredients. They're mimicking the cell culture and conditioned media in this guy. It's really interesting. So I'm kind of a sucker for an innovative formula. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try it. The other thing is this has a ton of minerals in it. So if you are, what I've really fallen in love with this for is with like a microcurrent treatment. I find that this doesn't mess with the connectivity, it really hydrates the skin, and then the microcurrent helps get those great ingredients into the skin. So I'm obsessed with this combo right here, and I've really fallen in love with this product. It's very hydrating. So these are my absolute favorites from them, but they have a lot of other great products as well. And I should have, the one brand I wasn't able to include this time was NCN Pro Skincare, so maybe I'll do a dedicated review. Ooh, I've got cat hair on my nose. Okay, so the next product, I guess we will touch on, actually we'll just do Bradceuticals, because it's really easy. I only have the one bottle. So they do one thing really well, which is growth factors. I like the Mesenchymal stem cell conditioned media, which is in their Mesenchymal line. So they have the gold, which is a 60% concentration, which is really great. And then they have a 30%, which is, great intro. I also like that one. I used it for years before they released this one. The reason I like the Mesenchymal one, which is derived from bone marrow stem cells, is just because there's more safety data and more research. Before we started using it for like the aesthetic side of things with microneedling, there's a lot of medical applications where like an adipose stem cell conditioned media, like osmosis would be a good example. That's newer and there's a lot less research. And then something like Fibroblast, which you would see in like the Skin Medica, that just has a lower concentration of the growth factors that we really want. So and Anti-Age would be another option. I should have grabbed their bottle for comparison, but Anti-Age would be another one that has the bone marrow. Oh, hello. I missed it. What are you using with microcurrent? Then mimic. Oh, yeah. So it's the Kate Ryan EGF serum. So instead of using a cell culture conditioned media like our Bradceuticals, which is a lot for a brand to source, especially a smaller brand, they are mimicking it with the minerals and vitamins and amino acids in here. The ingredient deck is beautiful. I mean, it's just packed with vitamins and minerals and great ingredients. Hi Claudia, welcome. I'm really touched to see a few of my favorite smaller creators popping in. Claudia is beautiful. I was actually talking about you, Claudia, in the Facebook group live. We were just talking about like small creators that we loved, and we were just talking about a few of the members were chiming in saying that they love your content too. Okay, so yeah, it's just mimicking the Bradceuticals. It's, you know, it's not like the same thing, but I just love the innovation in this formula, and then the added minerals really enhance connectivity with microcurrent. In case anyone doesn't know, the skin surface, like our skin barrier, that train, there's a train parked up outside my window the one time I decided to do a YouTube live, of course. The surface of the skin is very resistant to any kind of electrical current. This is because it's to protect our body, because our cells actually do conduct current. So everything, once you get past the skin barrier, the current can flow freely through the cells. So in order to kind of make sure that we're getting a really good treatment here, as we want to reduce that resistance, we can do that two ways. We can hydrate the skin. So the hydrating ingredients in here are going to reduce the resistance to the current, and then we can use minerals to increase the conductivity. Since minerals, especially strong electrolytes, kind of ionize, and those are what kind of carry the current along, the little current conductors. So wonderful with microcurrent. I'm obsessed with this pairing. I use it nonstop. And then for the Bradceuticals, this is what I use with microneedling. It is incredible. There's a lot of really good studies on microneedling with growth factors. I don't use this guy with medical microneedling just due to it not being, it's formulated as a topical serum, so we have some preservatives and added ingredients that are fine with cosmetic needling and nano needling, but not medical. I will start this the next day after the medical needling. But the evidence really indicates that this can really enhance the repair and some of the results associated with microneedling. I also use it, you know, with any kind of treatment that aids penetration. So that can be a little tool like the Osmosis Epic here behind me, or like the Carlos. This is an EMS, like mild RF and ultrasonic to help penetration of skincare ingredients. Anything that's going to help get these large molecules a little bit better into the skin. Really great product. Their owner, Twee, is really wonderful as well. She is an engineer. That's like her day job, and this is like and then she created Bradceuticals, which is named after her son. Just kind of as a side project, like something that she, kind of the way that I think about skincare. She's really passionate about it. She's really wonderful, and I've been using the Bradceuticals line for almost 4 years now, I think, since before the repackaging, when they were super small. Just really great people, really smart, and I will add really quick before I move on to the next one, I vetted them extensively. I sat down with the owner via, online, and I had so many questions for her. Where do you get your growth factors? How's it formulated? What's the manufacturing process? That we had an extensive conversation about this, just because I wanted to make sure that everything was, safe and well sourced, because you'll see a lot of just claims about like Amazon skincare products and stuff like that. So this is from a US-based company, that a very reputable US-based biotech company is the main source of the growth factors, and they are bone marrow. Okay, so I think I missed one comment. Sorry, you guys. Oh, shoot, we want to try the EGF. Pajama Mama wants to try the EGF, right? I think that's what you're talking about from Kate, right? Yeah, it's really great. And I was like not prepared to like this at all. I was so skeptical. So I was glad that I kind of chatted with her and learned more about kind of the formulation behind it. And Erica is really great. I think that's the general theme in all of these is, You know, these are all small brands, they're all US based, and they have just some really wonderful people behind them. I think that's something, like, as a small content creator myself, I love to work with brands that not only have great products, but they're small. I think that's really a wonderful thing to kind of support. Hi Melinda, welcome. I'm glad you were able to find it. Lindsay said, hi from, not Michigan. Oh my God, my brain. Montana, I think, right? I need more coffee. I ran out of coffee this morning. I had to run to Starbucks and just was not doing it for me. I don't know if anyone else is a caffeine addict. Would you mind sharing your experience with Bradceuticals? Any noticeable changes, fine lines? Is it recommended to start with a lower percentage? Yeah, of course. So I started with the 30% only because when I started using this brand, that's all they had. So I had great results with the 30%. I think it kind of depends. Missouri, okay. I knew I was wrong, but I was just like, I don't think my brain is firing fully. Hi Joanna, welcome. Joanna is my incredible mod and really knowledgeable about skincare herself. Thank you for hanging out with me. Okay, sorry, my brain is so, anyone else is a major caffeine addict, you know the deal. Like, my brain cells don't fire correctly without enough caffeine, which is why I like to make it myself. So yes, I started with the 30% only because that's what they made at the time. That's still a very effective concentration. Shakira, they are only on eBay for now. They were on Amazon briefly, and ended up stopping selling there just because Amazon is really tricky for smaller sellers. It's really expensive, and they were also, they're very positive people, so they didn't say this directly, but I've seen it kind of happen. There was a lot of influencers and larger kind of medical grade skincare brands selling growth factors that were very threatened by Bradceuticals, and were kind of, you know, trying to put them down, saying, I'm not going to get into it, it's too early in the morning, but they were having some issues both with the cost of Amazon as well as like fake reports, which is really, I think, really crappy to do to a small brand. The Fupushi has had the same issues. You know, I think that if you're threatened by smaller brands at a more affordable price point, you need to kind of relook at your own business instead of worrying about, you know, these smaller brands and smaller sellers. So they've not threatened, yeah. So they have pulled back to eBay only for now, but they are going to be selling through their website as well. And you know, what they did tell me is they kind of go back and forth. They don't like to have to increase their costs to accommodate, you know, Amazon and stuff. It's a tricky balance for any small seller. So, okay, back to what I was saying. I've used this for several years. When I first got the 30%, I did a split face kind of test where I started using it on half of my forehead with nano and cosmetic needling. The reason I was doing that is because I had just started to get Botox, it was in toward the beginning. And if anyone who has gotten Botox before knows that it's helpful for dynamic wrinkles. So if you're making faces, and you can see the fine lines where they disappear when your face is at rest, those are dynamic wrinkles, and Botox can help with those. Not much else, unfortunately. However, sometimes dynamic wrinkles can become static. So I had fine lines on my forehead even when my face was at rest, probably due to sun damage because I'm in California and I was awful about sunscreen growing up. So I had this fine line that Botox wasn't able to help with because it was a static wrinkle. So I started to do a split face test. It was already microneedling, had been for quite a while. I started adding this into half, and within 6 weeks, I saw a really impressive difference and reduction in the fine lines. And you can see now, I don't think I even have that static wrinkle anymore. I would say mostly due to microneedling as well as the growth factor added in. And then more recently, I do test a lot of different things. So yes, I saw a great difference in the results of my microneedling. The other thing too is I find that this greatly decreases the healing time after treatments. So microneedling, chemical peels, even dermaplaning, I find it really helps my skin repair faster. And that's because, you know, microneedling works by creating this controlled damage, which triggers the wound healing cascade and which triggers the release of your own growth factors. Sorry, I need to take a sip of water here in a sec. And then you're adding in more and really enhancing that process. So I also think it's really great for sensitive skin. Like if my skin is irritated, this really helps. I know that the people behind Anti-Age did like a case study where they found that They had a couple people that's really helped with rosacea. Not that that's like really overwhelming evidence, but it doesn't surprise me. And then yes, I have the anti-age. I think Claudia had mentioned something about anti-age. I have their serums and their main serum, the accelerator, and the solution. And I can do a full review, maybe comparison against Bradceuticals if you guys want. The main difference is this is much a lower cost, and this doesn't have the added kind of penetration agents in there. If you're using with tools, I don't think it matters, but it'll depend on your budget. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I can totally do that. And I love Anti-Age as a brand as well. The doctors behind Anti-Age are so knowledgeable in this field. They have their blog, Barefaced Truth. Excellent blog. Great information about growth factors. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of water and we will jump to the next product. Getting to the end here. Oh, someone asked about Feipushi. Sorry, guys. Let me catch up here. Okay, so do you recommend the Fushi? I want to get a microcurrent device. It will depend on so okay, let me answer the EGF question and then sorry, it froze. I got a call and then it didn't unfreeze. Sorry, you guys. Okay, I'll answer the Catherine Jinn and then I'll answer the microcurrent question before we keep going because that one is a little bit more of a detailed answer. I do like the Catherine Jinn. They use EGF with like 4 other growth factors, so it's not going to be quite as good as the Bradceuticals, but I like that they are trying to use a blend, right? Because these growth factors, they work together. They're not designed to work alone. You also have some other nice like peptides and kind of hydrating ingredients. The Catherine Jinn is a good like daily serum. You know, the EGF from Kate Ryan I use with Microcurrent. Bradceuticals, I tend to really want to get the most out of it, so I use it with nano needling, cosmetic needling, the day after medical needling. Where the Catherine Jinn is just a good daily like PM serum. There's a lot that it offers. Okay, for Microcurrent, I actually do have my MyoLift here. It really depends on your kind of level of commitment, you know, what you're willing to put in time-wise and kind of research-wise. Okay, maybe I'll grab my head. I'll grab my, I think one of you guys named him Fred the Head. So with Microcurrent, you can see I have my little model here. He's a little bit dusty, so I'm gonna pull him down. So you can kind of see with Microcurrent, yeah, he's really dusty. Joys of having cats. Okay, so with Microcurrent, no, it's just cat hair, never mind. So here we go. So Microcurrent targets, it doesn't actually target the muscles, it actually targets the tendons that the muscles connect to, right? You can see that there is some anatomy knowledge that you need to learn in doing Microcurrent treatments and getting really successful results. You know, we can, if we work from, let's see if I can find a good muscle here. So like this muscle in the cheek, take it off his head here. So say we usually talk about like the rosorius, right? This muscle that helps pull the mouth open. You know, if we use our knowledge here and we work inward from the origin insertion with like our MyoLift Mini, we can actually improve the muscle tone. On the flip side of that, like we could use the DAOs here, this triangular, this like upside down triangle of a muscle. This is what kind of gives you a downturn smile. People will target with Botox. We can work outward, right, from the belly of the muscle outward to the origin insertion to kind of lengthen that muscle and kind of stop the pull a little bit. So if you're willing to put in that time kind of learning your muscle placement, I still have cat hair, and your muscle action, you can get a lot out of your treatments, especially if you have something like the MyoLift Mini, which with the separate, with the separate probes here. So let me kind of demonstrate. Ugh, sorry, cat hair. So these separate probes, I actually don't use these. I use ones that only have the single probe on each side. You really don't need the double. It just kind of gets in the way of the precision, and it splits the current between 2 points, which is weakening it. So I use the singles. Something like this, right? We have that flexibility where it's not a fixed. You don't have fixed probes here. So I can work inwards and use, you know, that knowledge of anatomy and muscle action to work on muscle tone or to kind of lengthen muscles that are maybe contributing to repetitive muscle motions, dynamic wrinkles, etc. So really, I love this treatment, especially the MyoLift Mini. You have the option to do the Microcurrent mask, one of my favorite treatments. That's gonna really target the skin, but it's a lot. Like, a lot of you guys tell me just that, like, you know, it's overwhelming to you. So I always I always tell people to think about it before you spend, because it doesn't matter if the MyoLift Mini is more effective if it's sitting on your shelf and you spent, you know, $400 on all the accessories and it just sits there, then it's not going to be the best. Where a handheld like the Fupushi, you're not going to have that same precision. You're not going to be able to do the GTO technique that I just talked about, but it's going to be a lot more user-friendly. And the Fupushi is like 50 bucks, and it's honestly just as good as like the New Face and some of those other handhelds. So I recommend the Fupushi for a handheld. Okay, I feel like I went way off tangent. Okay, the last question was, are any of the other growth factors oncology safe? So there are, many of them are oncology tested. Bradceuticals is too small of a brand to afford that testing. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's really expensive, so they're not realistically going to be able to pay that you know, to do that. Anti-age is though, so that would be the same bone marrow stem cell conditioned media that I really like that's in the Bradceuticals. They are oncology tested, and definitely check out the doctors. I have this one cat hair that won't go away. I feel like like a cat lady or something. Every darn live, I'm like a cat lady, I swear. The Barefaced Truth blog from the doctors behind Anti-Age, they talk about that. They talk about, you know, the concerns of cancer and growth factors. Their kind of position is that stem cell conditioned media options are going to be safe, but EGF alone might not be. So I would go for something like Anti-Age, and of course, you know, if you have any concerns, talk to your doctor too. That's always, you know, my ultimate advice. Lisa said, "You're so knowledgeable. I've learned so much from you. Thank you." Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you. Ink said, "Hi, welcome, Ink. Have you tried the Foreo Fair?" I have not. So my general kind of thing is that I'm always down to test things for you guys, but I also try to like kind of practice what I preach, if that makes sense. So my general position is you absolutely don't need 5 devices that do the same thing. I just think that is just, I think it's irresponsible messaging. Like we're still in a pandemic. Many of us are on a budget, and I just don't think this like idea that you need all these devices, I don't like it. Same with products, right? Like you'll see I go back to a lot of the same products in my own routine, like the Bradceuticals, like the Kate Ryan, like the Stratia products, because I just think that if they're the best, they're the best. And you know, I might test something new and I'll talk about it, but if it's not as good as the product that I'm using before, I go back to it. And that's kind of my position with devices. I don't have my NUA, but like for NUA, I haven't gone out and tested the Nebulift or the Tripolar just because the specs and the research don't match the NUA. So I try to buy devices that I think are gonna either be better than what I have, like if something that came out that seemed better than the MyoLift, I would buy and test it, or does the same thing for less, which is why I bought the Fupushi, because I really do feel, and especially after testing, that it does the same thing as the New Face for less. So that's why I haven't bought the Foreo, just because I don't think it brings anything new to the table, and it doesn't save you any money versus something else. So that's kind of my general, hope that makes sense, you know. I just feel like if I was constantly talking about devices, even if I was like, I don't think this is as good, it just sends like a message that I'm not super comfortable with. So, and it's so hard, right? We like, especially as like a content creator, let me catch up here. I always feel pressure to be talking about new things all the time. Like the Bradceuticals, I've talked about this a million times, and I do sometimes feel pressure to like talk about a new growth factor. So I feel like that would be disingenuous if I didn't actually find something better, or if it would, you know, but of course it's a little different if it's like something that's for something else, like Microcurrent. Okay, let me catch up and we will keep going. Okay, so Heidi said, do you think leftover gel, NUA gel after radiofrequency is better with Microcurrent, or should I wash it off and use the Kate Ryan? So it depends, right? I follow Dr. Ventura, Dr. Joseph Ventura. He has a group on Facebook called Microcurrent Mentors, if you want to check him out. His training is based on a lot of the information from Dr. Wing. He's like the godfather of microcurrent. He pioneered it along with the godfather of kinesiology, Dr. Goodhart, I think his name was. So they kind of teamed up. You know, Dr. Goodhart had kind of, so again, this was like the early chiropractor stuff, right? Or early chiropractic stuff. He had found that you could manually manipulate the tendons to improve muscle tone. So he found if you manually massaged, you know, certain, like the tendon area inward on these larger muscles, it could help improve their muscle tone. So Dr. Wing took that concept and decided to apply microcurrent to it. So I follow those kind of original principles just because there's not a lot of research on microcurrent. I just want to stick as close as we can to, you know, what we know until there's hopefully more evidence. And Dr. Ventura does not recommend gel. His argument is that current follows the path of least resistance, and gel just kind of encourages the current to kind of bounce on the surface. I'm not aware of any specific research for that though. So what I tell people if you really want to use a gel, pick like an electrode gel that is really going to wet the skin and reduce the resistance. And don't use aloe vera. There's several studies that found aloe vera alone had a very inconsistent conductivity. So yeah, I have used like the conductivity bar on the MyoLift to test the Nua gel. It does conduct. So if you want to save some money and just use the use the Nua gel and leave it on the skin and go in with MyoLift or your hand towel, I think that would be fine. And as far as placing stuff under the Nua gel, I'm pretty conservative. I'll pick like one serum. Usually it's the actual Nua serum, but sometimes I'll spritz a little bit of conductivity you missed. Just don't apply a lot so you're potentially kind of messing with things. Okay, sorry, I got really behind. Okay, so, oh, you mean with the mask? Oh, if you're using the microcurrent mask, no, I would remove the gel. Sorry about that. Where do we get the single probes? The MyoLift, so they don't have them. I just get them from Dr. Ventura. His website is like Best Posture Pros or something like that. It's linked in his group. He sells them, and he does sell a kit that connects with the MyoLift Mini. They're great, and they're made of, you can get, I highly recommend buying like the $25 caps. So you can either use them with a Q-tip, it's too much to fuss with. He sells these little conductive probe covers that pop on. They're great. They're made out of a conductive material. He has a video on YouTube too where he compares like metal probes to Q-tips, and Q-tips and like these probe covers conduct way better. Okay, I do have to move on here to the products just so this isn't too crazy to watch back, but I'll answer really quickly. Cho said, I appreciate your honesty when it comes to what you wrote. Thank you. Yeah, I just feel like I never started out wanting to be a content creator. I do this for you guys. So I just try to be, just to, one, think of my own budget, right? But also just be really conservative and considerate of, your guys's, budgets and needs and stuff. And I feel like, we all feel pressure. Like we all watch, if you consume beauty and skincare content, like we all feel the pressure of like, oh, this new thing is out, I need it. And, I'm definitely subject to that too. Ink said, I see plenty of influencers try so many devices or products and you just get lost. Yeah, because then you don't know. I think it can be done. Like some people, if a larger influencer like has the budget to test a lot of things that maybe their followers can't afford and to honestly tell you whether it's good or not, like that's not a bad thing. That's awesome, right? They can do you a service. But sometimes what I see is someone will have like 5 different microcurrent devices, like this and this and the Foreo and what's the other popular one with the nanocurrent, which is there's no evidence behind it, the Zip. Like they'll have like 5 microcurrent devices, but then they won't say buy this one. Like they'll all suddenly supposedly be good. They'll have codes for all of them, and then they all have like pros and cons. Like this one's good for this. This one's good for this. That's when I kind of think it gets a little bit iffy, right? Like if you're gonna test a bunch, like then just say which one do you recommend. When you have codes for all of them and they're all great, like that, I don't know. I think that creates like, and then I see you guys having like 5 microcurrent devices too and not using any of them. So that's, I think, what concerns me sometimes. Cho said, when I see a creator promoting the same products, I believe it's because they actually use them consistently. Yeah, and that's how it should be. Like, it's just tricky because I think we as a I'm a consumer of content too, right? Like I'm a super small creator. I also am like a follower, just like you guys, and I think that we have a responsibility as well. To follow and like kind of encourage and like and interact with the content that we want to see. Like if we really want to see creators, you know, not promoting a million things, then if someone's talking about their favorite again, or, you know, hopefully talking about it in a new and interesting way, but like definitely support that too. I think that often creators get a little bit stuck because it's the constant like flood of new products that does get the most views, if that makes sense. So it can be really tricky for them. Okay, so Pajama Mom said, you're awesome, you just saved my money, I will get the Fupushi, I've been on the fence. Oh yeah, awesome, you're so welcome. Yeah, if you know that you're not gonna be ready for the MyoLift Mini, like there's no problem in getting what you can use, and this is just as good as, you know, the more expensive handhelds for sure. And it can be a good intro too. Like if you get really comfortable, you like your results with this and you want to step it up, then you can kind of consider eventually upgrading to the MyoLift if you want to. Lindsay said, I apologize if you've already mentioned this, to use the MyoLift conductivity gloves. Personally, I do not know. I have hacked, oh, jeez, poor Fupushi, I'm so sorry. I have hacked the Fupushi. I have a video on Instagram where I attach little probes, or I attach lines to this guy and use it with gloves. Just because I wanted the ability to be able to work with the GTO technique. So I have done that with this guy with the gloves for that reason. Typically though, I don't. I just find that the gloves are not concentrated enough. I find that using the probes, even these guys, really concentrates the current a lot better. I just find that the gloves tend to be very diluted. And it also can depend on your finger size too. Like you want to be able to work really precisely. So if you have bigger hands, then sometimes the gloves can be not as precise as I'd like. The main thing though is I just find that the current is really diluted. And if you have sensitive skin, those gloves can be really rough. What do you think about face yoga or gua sha versus microcurrent probes? So my kind of general thing with like gua sha is right now we don't have the evidence to say that it's effective, but I think it would be really ignorant to say that it's useless just because we don't have the Western like evidence on that, if that makes sense. So I'm not the type to dismiss like a treatment or medicine or anything like that from, you know, like from a culture if they've used it for a really long time. You know, I would just say that we don't currently have the evidence yet on gua sha. For like facial massage and stuff, there's a little bit of evidence. You know, it seems like facial massage, like with your hands or with a tool, does seem to help with like circulation potentially. There's just not very much evidence there. Microcurrent has a little bit more evidence when we compare to, you know, face yoga or gua sha or any of those other similar tools, like a jade roller. So I think between the two, I would pick the one with more evidence. Microcurrent also really targets the skin, especially with the microcurrent mask. That's what's great about the microcurrent mask. It's really able to stimulate your skin for a long enough period of time to help with ATP and as well as collagen and elastin formation. And then again, yeah, you're really able to target those tendons, those Golgi tendon organs, to kind of tell them that they're under load and improve muscle tone. So between the two, I would pick microcurrent. Even microcurrent though is not as studied as I would like. Okay, I think we have one last question, then I will move on to the rest of the products. I don't like using the gloves at all. I much prefer the probes. Yeah, I'm the same. I just find that I see a difference in the results, and I also find that the gloves are so rough, especially the silver ones, which are good because they're antimicrobial, you know, but yeah, it's tricky. I use gua sha every day for several months, works wonders on lymphatic drainage. Yeah, like if it works for you, like I think you should use it, right? Like there's not a lot of evidence again for gua sha or even the idea behind lymphatic drainage, you know, but the science is also always evolving, and if someone's doing something that's really working for them, then I'm always going to say continue. Okay, the next brand is, I guess we'll do Clarista. I have their serum, I think the gel would be my #1 recommendation though. The serum basically enhances the results of the gel. So if you want to start with one product, it would be the gel in my opinion. I did a whole live, so I won't talk about the Clarista too much because I did like a whole live in the Facebook group. They gave me a code and they've extended it, which is really nice. I think Mirror 20 should still be active, which is really cool. They also reached out to me. I was jumping onto the Facebook group live, and I'm usually pay for giveaways myself, unless like Bradceuticals did the one giveaway where they contributed, but I usually buy everything myself. And they reached out and they're like, we want to add 3 bottles. So that was really nice, and I really like the Clarista team. Long story short, the reason I really like this product is just the versatility. It's really good for a wide array of things. You can use this on, so it's a gel, but it has the jojoba beads, so it offers a gentle, like physical exfoliation. Jojoba beads aren't biodegradable. I know there's some concerns with the plastic beads, but mainly the jojoba beads are actually acting as a delivery agent to get the patented surfactants that they use into the skin. So the unique part about, like, let me compare to like an AHA, right? Like a peel or something is going to be much more aggressive. They actually coagulate the proteins on the surface of the skin and cause this controlled injury. And even like an exfoliant, like a really rough scrub, is going to physically kind of scrub away skin cells on the surface of the skin, and you can end up removing healthy cells, that are not ready to be removed. The Clarista just kind of loosens the little cell junction, or like the corneodesmosomes that are holding 2 skin cells together. So it just kind of loosens that and kind of aids in the exfoliation process. It's really gentle. This is great as a prep before microcurrent. So if you can remove some of those dead skin cells, kind of reduce the resistance and help other hydrating steps you're using later kind of get into the skin better. Use this actually post chemical peel. And also post microneedling. Sometimes if you do like a medical microneedling treatment, you can kind of get flaky around day 3 to 5. So I use that for microneedling as well as peels when I get to the very end of the peeling process. It's gentle enough to use for that. You can use enzymes. Like, I know a lot of you guys like the enzyme masks and stuff. Those are totally fine as well. You know, Kate Ryan has an enzyme product. I don't think I've tried the Theraderm that a lot of you guys like. The only reason I don't use enzymes a ton is it has been like a couple studies where they found that they could be an issue for sensitive skin, that they could be a little bit sensitizing. So it makes me a little bit nervous, like post microneedling, if that makes sense. Enzymes work by going after the proteins. So if you ever use like a pineapple juice to kind of tenderize meat, they're good for that. So I use those, again, body. I use it on the chest, I use it on my hands. I use it on my feet sometimes. I will use it on my son's. My son gets KP on his arms, and this really targets keratin, so it's really great for keratosis pilaris. So I use it, and it's gentle enough for kids 2 and up. It's just like, it's a very versatile product. You can use it if you have very tough skin. You can use this before like a vitamin C to aid penetration. Yeah, I won't blather on about it too much because I did that whole dedicated live, but it's a really versatile product. The Clarista team is really great. I've chatted with them extensively about the science and the research behind it. They actually, the original technology was used to kind of remove skin cells, like in the cancer field, like the oncology field. They wanted a way to remove skin cells for like biopsy without damaging the skin. And then the CIA saw use for this technology and I guess invested in it. I'm assuming for forensic reasons. I just thought that was kind of interesting. So they're a good brand. It's a versatile product. Cats, man. The serum, again, I don't think you absolutely need the serum unless you want to really enhance the results. Like for body, I use this, and I get a little bit of KP, it's much better now. I feel like the connection on YouTube is much worse. Sorry, you guys. I will use an AHA lotion or retinol after the Clarista personally, because I'm not very sensitive and I get to have a little bit more stubborn congestion and stuff. If you have very sensitive skin, that's when I would recommend the serum, but mainly this is my top pick. Okay, was that it, I think? I think I covered, oh, ASDM, that's my last one. Sorry, you guys. So my last one is just the ASDM product. They have regular products. I haven't tried a ton of their regular products. Oof. Mainly, I'm really into their peels. So again, another small brand. They do AHA peels, really great. Glycolic acid, lactic acid. They have a salicylic acid. Really great intro to peels if you've like done the baby peels first. So they are, again, unbuffered. They're professional grade. They're really strong. You still want to be careful, but they do AHA peels really well. So that's my last pick. Again, I'm giving away all of these for the giveaway. Some bottles of the Clarista and one of the serums. Obviously, these are my products. You're getting a brand new unopened product that I keep closed up till the giveaway. I'm giving away a glycolic acid from ASDM. I'm giving away some of the vitamin C serums, a bottle of the Bradceuticals, the Stratia Rewind, and Liquid Gold. And then Kate Ryan actually donated for the giveaway a daytime repair C, an EGF serum, and a couple of their moisturizers, which was really nice. So everything I've talked about is being given away to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of our Facebook group, which was recently renamed into the Skincare Forum, just in case everyone was like, where did it go? So I will, when I post this, I think I'll be able to edit the description. So I'll add the link to the giveaway. It's running through Monday, and I'll put it in the pinned comments. And then yes, next week if we want, I can do like a Geek and Gorgeous review. I grabbed these products because this is what I used this morning. I used the Geek and Gorgeous. I used a Birch Juice toner and the Pestlo sunscreen I've been testing. So I can definitely do a full review of the Geek and Gorgeous. I can do. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, it's crazy. It blows. I mean, I thought we would get to 1 year, but I definitely didn't expect our group to kind of take off the way it did. Okay, let me catch up. Make sure. It's so annoying that the services or the connectivity is awful for YouTube for some reason. Yeah, I felt, I worked really hard on they used to be called units, now they're called guides. I put a lot of, I put a lot of effort into the content in the group, but I definitely never thought when we started that we would get almost 30K members at a year. That just blows my mind. So it's been really cool to see, and that's why I wanted to, I wanted the giveaway to be really personal. These are all products that are favorites of mine, not just products that I like. These are all absolute favorites in my routine that I come back to again and again. And then they're also from small brands with really wonderful people behind them that I've been really lucky to, kind of develop either an affiliate relationship or just, Dermalore doesn't do affiliate codes at all. Just because they work with a lot of professionals, I guess the doctors would have an issue. So they don't even do any kind of promotion like that, but I still think they're an awesome brand, and they've kind of reached out before with products to give away and wonderful people. So it's cool to be able to do that. Okay, so Shakira said just purchased the single probes and Bradceuticals. Oh, cool. Let me know how you like them. Yeah, the difference in, I wish I had grabbed, I don't have them. They're on my other shelf. The difference in precision is such a game changer, because these can't get these little muscles. If you look at Fred the Head here, as you guys have named him, this is, even right in here, or the mentalis muscle, that's a really small area, and when you try to get it with those probes, you end up going into different muscle groups, which is going to reduce the efficacy of your treatment. And of course, Bradceuticals is a favorite, so let me know what you think. Ink said the guides are very helpful. Thank you. Oh, cool. And yeah, I think that's what kind of makes our group really unique. It's just basically an online skincare book in a way. We have the sample routines, we have protocols, we have overviews. Yeah, they're my favorite thing, aside from you guys, about the group. And I'm working on redoing some of them again. I'm going to be adding more to the section, the overview on skin concerns. So we have a bunch of different guides on menopausal skin and melasma and acne. So I'm going to continue adding to those. But For the sample routines, I want to make them a little bit easier to access and talk about what type of product to pick, and have that be separate from like the product recommendations, if that makes sense. Because I want you guys to, even if you don't pick like my specific recommendation, I want you to have a really clear idea of what to look for. Okay, let me catch up here. What are the baby peels for? Okay, so like try the stronger, it can either be like a stronger exfoliant, like the 12% AHA from Geek and Gorgeous, or like Skin Actives has a wash off mask that is like it's 12% lactic acid, 5% salicylic acid, like, or like something like, do I have it back up here? Or, oh, here, I'm gonna show you. Okay. Or like Perfect Image, they do, I mean, they're still potent, like the Revita Boost peel pads and the TCA 15%. They're still potent, but they're slightly buffered. That means that the pH isn't quite as low. They're not going to get as deep. And then if you do the peel plan, you get assigned an esthetician. So it's just a step down from like a true professional peel. The reason I say that is it's just good to have a really good understanding of how your skin is going to react. Because if you're very sensitive and you react really strongly, you don't want to find out when you've done like a 50% glycolic acid or something like that. You could even do like dilute your 40% and do a 10% glycolic acid. That would be fine to start with too. Just have a good idea of how your skin is going to respond. It's just really good to be just really conservative when we're doing peels at home. Like my big thing is just give them the respect that they deserve. Heidi said, thank you so much for all this. You made my 40s and the pandemic not just bearable but fun. Oh, thank you, Heidi. You guys have done the same for me. Like I was telling a few of you guys, I don't know what I would have done during the pandemic if it wasn't for the skincare community. Like I would have lost my mind, like just being so isolated. Like this gave me so much to look forward to and just like so much like interaction with you guys and so much support. I get just as much out of it, if not more. Okay, Lisa said, I just recently found the group a few months ago. It has been the most informative, kind, and honest group. So glad I found you. Thank you for all your hard work, and she loves the guides too. Thank you, Lisa. That's awesome to hear. And that's why, I think it doesn't matter how informative your group is if people are scared to ask questions. And it's like the type of atmosphere where you feel like people are going to make you feel dumb for asking something, or if you post something like this is skin is really personal. Like you're getting really vulnerable. You're getting vulnerable. You're sharing your bare skin, your like kind of skin concerns. For a lot of women in our group, like there's other contributing factors, like there's acne or they're dealing with menopause. Like you have to have a safe, supportive space where all the education really doesn't matter. Okay, so I answered Heidi's question with the baby pills. Okay, can we do the thermal red light therapy on days we do it? Yes, absolutely, Ink. I like to do the NUA first, and then I'll do any kind of like treatment that creates any kind of micro damage. You want to do that first and then do something like the red light therapy. This is the red Mito lamp, for example. Awesome lamp. This is awesome and really affordable. But yeah, so do anything that creates damage, a peel, NUA, microneedling, etc. Even if it's heated. Which one is it? The near infrared? That's what I read it as. Or is it one of those lamps that actually like, you know what I'm talking about, like the sauna ones? Is it one of those or just near infrared? Stephanie said, so would you say the ASDM is stronger than Perfect Image? It depends on the peel. Which one did you try from Perfect Image? I would say like as far as glycolic acids go, handheld, so it's one of the ones I'm assuming that puts out heat. So what I would probably do is do the NUA, let your skin calm down fully, and then do that light treatment a little bit later, like right before your PM routine, just to make sure that you're not emphasizing the damage or anything like that. Just separate them, let the skin cool down. Otherwise, I think it should be totally fine. There's good evidence showing that heat-based therapies are actually beneficial in the healing process. I did like a post on temperature therapy where like a cooling treatment can be helpful like immediately after the injury, and then heat after that point enhances the repair once you're out of that like immediate stage. Okay, sorry, Stephanie, back to your question. So it'll depend on which peel, right? I would say if you're comparing like an AHA head to head, like glycolic acid versus glycolic acid, oh, this is lactic acid. Oh, there we go, I'm trying blind. Then the ASDM is gonna be stronger. That's because it's not buffered. They have not adjusted the pH. It's just super low. There's nothing else in here except for the glycolic acid and the distilled water. So this is gonna be, again, professional grade, where the Perfect Image, they tend to have like gel peels, they kind of buffer their peels. I would say that the Revita Boost peel pads from Perfect Image are stronger than these ones, just because you do have 15% TCA, you have 15% glycolic acid, a little bit of mandelic. So even though it's buffered, that TCA does cause the actual peeling to occur. So I would say the order of things to do would be start with the glycolic acid, work your way up to like the Revita Boost peel pads, and then you can do either a straight up TCA or like the red carpet peel. That would be like the order of strength, if that helps. Okay, I think I caught up here. The trail set of glycolic, okay, yeah, so the Perfect Image glycolic acids, a lot of them tend to be gel peels, so they would be buffered, so the ASDM should be more potent, yes. And just be conservative, right? Especially lactic acid and glycolic acid, they're not gonna go into the dermis. Like the reason we get frosting from like a TCA, like frosting is a good visual indicator of like where the peel is at. You know, once a product starts to reach the dermis, then you'll start to see that frosting, or you'll see like salicylic acid, targets the skin a little bit differently. So since it's targeting like really lipid-rich areas of the skin, we'll get like that pseudo frost. AHAs are superficial, so you wouldn't want to get frosting. That would be a little bit scary. If you'll get redness, I do find with like a glycolic and a lactic, you can get what I call like hot spots. We'll get this little section that turns really red or like gets a lot more irritated. So just kind of be mindful of that. Fine. Yeah, Stephanie, the Revita Boost is great. It's definitely will be stronger than the gel ones from Perfect Image. If you're wanting actual peeling too, they're great. And you can build up your layers. With an AHA, you can once you're at the max concentration, it's just about increasing the time left on. The Revita Boost ones, you can increase the layers and you will get some good peeling. I do about 3 layers. You can do 1 to start. It's a perfect like intro before like a TCA. So if you're wanting to see like that peeling and resurfacing, these are great. These are my favorite from Perfect Image, hands down. I prefer them actually to the regular TCA for sure. Melinda said, very interesting story on the Clarista. Isn't it? It's funny because I was talking to Elena, like does like a lot of like the marketing and stuff for Clarista. She's really sweet. She's usually who I chat with on the Clarista team, and she was telling me that story, and I was like, why don't they talk about that more? Like that's such a interesting brand background, yeah. I was. It just shows that their science is great. Their like products are grounded in science. I don't know why they don't chat about it more. Okay, so Melinda was saying, yes, the Revita Boost is an awesome beginner's peel. Yeah, I mean, and you will get actual peeling as you work your layers up. So it's not like a beginner, but it's a great intro before you do those stronger ones. Undercover chemist, hi dear, I love your content, keep up the great work. Oh, thank you so much, I really appreciate that. Trying to get better about the YouTube thing. I'm like I get really, maybe you guys are like this too sometimes, but I get like really comfortable with one thing, and I've learned to have to like kind of push myself out of my comfort zone and get really uncomfortable, and then I'll kind of like branch out and expand a little bit. Lindsay said, what drew you to Dermalore versus Platinum? Another influencer I follow promotes Dermalore. They're both great, right? Like I would say my top 4 chemical peel water. Sorry guys. You guys should have seen me. I took a communications class. It was mandatory for my major. It was like a nursing prereq. I had the hardest time. I'm sure my professor would laugh realizing like that I do these lives now, because I was horrible. Like I have all the information, like that's me in a nutshell. I've got all the information, can't quite get that out into you guys when I'm on the video. Okay, so my 4 like recommendations for peels would be Platinum, Makeup Artist Choice, Dermalore, and ASDM. They're all great. I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. And again, I do like Perfect Image, but they're buffered. They're not going to be like a professional grade peel. These are better for beginners, neuroscience, the esthetician, and etc. So you know they're different. It's not that I'm not saying I don't like them. All of those 4 though are really reputable brands, really great team behind them, excellent products. I tend to reach for Dermalure more just because they tend to be a little bit more accessible, and sometimes they're a little more affordable, but it depends what you buy, honestly. You know, Platinum has some pretty affordable peels too. I did, in the last Facebook group live, I was saying that I really wanted to reach out to the Platinum team, because if you guys follow them on YouTube, they have such a good YouTube channel. Like they have such good evidence like based information on peels. Like hats off to them. They do such a good job. Like it's so nice to see that. Not only like a brand, not only making that information accessible to consumers, but just being so thorough and evidence-based, and they're like all their info is spot on. So just like knowledge-wise, so much respect to the Platinum team. So I reached out to them after the live, and hopefully we'll get them on and do like a live in the group with them, and you guys can ask them all their chemical peel questions, because they're awesome. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can make that happen. Cho said, I love your Facebook group. I feel like everyone is so supportive there. Thank you. Yeah, and Cho did a live with me, which was like so fun. I think that's one of like the most fun lives I've ever done. We just got on and kind of shot the SHIT and talked about like issues in the skincare community and like different, you know, like transparency and so many different topics, including like YouTuber brands, and such a fun live to get to do. Oh, thank you, Shiga. I have to get back to, I have to finish my LVN to RN bridge. I had to stop due to the pandemic. I have my son full time, so he is always with me. So when he couldn't go to school, neither could I. So I took a break, you know, due to the pandemic. You know, hopefully that's the last time it freezes. We're almost done here anyway. I'm just kind of chatting with you guys before we wrap up the live. So if anyone is rewatching this, hopefully they click out when I'm done with the product review side. You know, so I had to take a break due to the pandemic, but I will say that I'm really glad in the sense that I did get to, because I wouldn't have been able to do any of this skincare stuff otherwise. So it was, you know, it was kind of a happen for the best situation, but I am like really excited to get back and get done. I want to work in the aesthetic side of things for anyone who is curious. Okay, so are these ingredients a good place to start for like baby peels? Heidi said, so 20% proprietary solution, alpha, beta, gamma. I would want to know the concentrations, Heidi. Like, I hate those, like, I hate when they don't tell you stuff like that. You know, the only exception would be like the Platinum Dream Peel, because they're trying to trademark, I think. Or like the Dermalore, again, for kind of trademark reasons. It's like a dupe for the VIP. But in general, like, I really want to know what I'm putting on my face. I would say, you know, if it's at least like 10% like AHA, then yeah, that would be probably a good start. You know, it's just good to know how your skin is going to react to a gentler chemical exfoliant before you bump up to a true peel. So you don't have to overthink it too much. Just try something in that arena, like a wash-off mask or a stronger, you know, glycolic acid toner, and just have a good sense of how your skin is going to respond before you go up to the peel. Melinda said, oh, she was greeting with Heidi. Okay. And then Stephanie said, oh, you like that live with Cho too? Yeah, that was so fun. I feel like we kind of became friends, especially after that, so it was really cool. Okay, you guys, I am going to wrap it up here, just because I think I did a little pretty good about trying to keep the questions more. No, I didn't. Never mind. I was like thinking back. I was like, no, I think I answered questions all the time. That's okay. It's my first live, so hopefully anyone watching this back got most of the information from the beginning. So my plan is like maybe like next Wednesday, I will pop up back on here and do maybe let me know in the comments before I close this up. We can do, or I'll ask in the group, the Facebook group too. I can do either the Geek and Gorgeous review, or I can do, I think that one will win. The other option would be to do like the like international version of this video, with the, like there's some amazing small brands from the UK and Australia and other parts of Europe that are amazing and deserve more hype. So I could do that version eventually, or we can do like the ordinary Geek and Gorgeous review, and then I will have a review on Regimen Labs really soon too. I'm testing them. It just takes me a long time to test products, and that's a good, like, okay, I space out products every new product in my routine. I minimum 2 to 3 weeks in between. So I'm starting my Geek and Gorgeous retinol vitamin C. Not enough coffee today, you guys. I'm starting this vitamin C one day, and the next day I'm adding in my Birch moisture boosting toner. You know, it's a K-Beauty brand. It's Anua. I've been really liking this. This is the product that I started a week ago. So I'm not going to start anything else for another week or two at minimum, right? So you need to space things out 2 to 3 weeks, or otherwise you don't know what is doing what. But then you need to really test those products for weeks to months to understand what they're doing, right? So that's why it takes me a really long time to do like a full brand review like Geek and Gorgeous. Like I've been testing their products since, okay, there we go, sorry, it froze. I think I posted months ago about receiving the Geek and Gorgeous stuff. So I point that out just so you guys can understand what goes behind like an actual thorough brand review. And I tend to be, as like a consumer, I tend to be a little bit, not suspicious, but skeptical if someone has a dozen new products that they like every single month. That just tells you that maybe like the testing isn't there. And then same thing, Heidi just made a really good point. She said I got really weird bumps on my face, which I think was from the peel we were talking about. But that's the other thing too. Like, what if you start testing the Birch toner and the Bradceuticals and the liquid gold, and you get this massive reaction, and you're like, okay, what caused it? You're not gonna know. So you're gonna have to stop everything, let your skin calm down, and then slowly test one at a time to figure out what the culprit is. So never rush into skincare. It's not a race, you know. You really, and same for you guys, like I highly recommend having a really good idea of what each product does in your routine, and that way when you finish it up, you know if you want to continue with it or if you want to try something else, or you know, you don't want to have like amazing skin, but maybe it's only due to one product and you don't need the 20 other products you're using. That's another thing too. Okay, so let me catch up here and then we'll end it. Thank you, Stephanie. She said she liked it. Yeah, so what I'll probably do for the next one is like get some notes and try to only kind of take questions at the end just for the person watching it back. So it's a work in progress, you know. I just wanted to just kind of jump on here and figure it out. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me and also keeping me company, because that makes these way more fun. Ink said thank you so much for your answers. Of course, yeah. These are so fun for me. Lindsay said, I think you killed it. Thank you for taking the time to educate us. Thank you. And then Heidi was saying, I got really weird bumps on my face from was this a Peter Thomas Rouse, like one of those masks? So I tend to really dislike like the ordinary AHA, BHA mask. So you'll see, the puppy is playing with the cat. It's very distracting. So you'll see like a blend, right? Because the FDA does kind of have specific rules on like the concentration of the AHA and the pH you need to have. So to get around that, instead of doing like because they can't do like a peel, they'll do a blend. And the issue can be with those is that like a random AHA like tartaric acid or malic acid, they're going to be less effective, but some of them, especially like citric acid, can be way more irritating. So you're getting less results and more irritation with some of those blends, which is why I tend to try to keep it really simple. Like I would rather have someone use like a 12% AHA from Geek and Gorgeous, or like the 5% salicylic acid with lactic acid from Skin Actives. Oh, that's what I didn't cover. That's okay. I've talked about them a million times. You know, better to do something like that, even if it's at a lower concentration, because you'll get more efficacy and less irritation. I don't like those blends at all. So Stephanie, thank you, Stephanie. And then, okay, Heidi said it could have been a lot of things. I started a few items at once. Yeah, it's always tricky. And then, I like how you do. You know what? I have so much hair. Like, I have so much darn hair that I don't actually do my hair. I just put some of it in the back. Like, I just, like, do a little half ponytail because otherwise I just have so much hair that it just poofs like this. And my version of a haircut is I go in and I just ask them to thin it. And I just go in and thin, like they use little thinning scissors and they thin it out. Okay, the puppy is chewing on a water buffalo ear. Oh yeah, I can show you, of course. I wish you guys could see behind me. It's if my son's things weren't all over the place, I would totally show you. They're being hilarious. Okay, thanks Heidi. And then, okay, I think that's the last comment. Do you want to come here, Leo? You might not get off the bed. By the way, if you guys have dogs, I highly recommend the water buffalo ears off of Amazon. Pig's ears tend to be like really high fat. Oh my God, Chip, you're asking for it. So my cat launches onto the bed, just swings at the puppy. I think he's trying to get him to play, but the puppy does not. Like they're two very different animals that are a little bit missing something, trying to play with each other. Like they can't figure it out. Come here, buddy. Okay, let me show them to you on live, because otherwise anyone watching back is gonna be like, girl, what are you doing? Come here, come here. Can you get down? No, you cannot jump from the bed to the desk. Absolutely not. You're gonna fall. Come here, come here. Okay, I'm gonna have to grab him and then we'll end the live. Come here, buddy. Come here, come here. There you go. Okay, don't go on the table, don't go on the table. Oh my God. Hi, he's really excited to see me. You gotta put your ears up though, because you're so cute with your big fat ears. Okay, so this came with the name Leo. He's about 3 months old. Meow! When he puts his ear up, he's got these giant ears. That's why we picked him actually. His sisters all had ears that just were always down. He has actual meow. Oh, he does the shivers like when he's excited, scared, cold, anything. So it doesn't mean he's actually nervous, he's just excited. So he's half Basenji, which is like a little African, hi baby. Okay, you want to go on my shoulder? Okay. He's half Basenji, which is like an African hunting dog. They're really interesting dogs. They don't actually bark. They do like an air horn type sound, but they usually don't bark. But he's half Corgi, which you can only see in this big long back. But he's a very sweet puppy. He's very mature for a puppy. Like he definitely likes to play. He's very like human-like. Oh, buddy. He's finally gotten into. We've finally gotten him to play with me. You're not gonna look at them, are you? Okay. Hi, babies. All right. I've got to put you down. He came with the name Leo. We're trying to think of another name. We might do Dobby, because I wish he would show you his big ears. They're giant, like Dobby from Harry Potter. My son wants to call him Wesley from Princess Bride. If you guys, that's such a classic. If you guys have watched that. And my son will act out the lines. He'll go, as you wish. All right, I'm gonna close the live. I'm gonna put you down and take you on a walk. All right, I'm off to take him on a walk, and I got to get some work done. So I will close this. Oh, hi Lisa. I'm glad you could pop in. Lisa said she is a master esthetician. Definitely follow her on Instagram. She has a great Instagram. Her pictures are so I'm always so envious because my feed is a mess, and she's got these like beautiful photos. I constantly have to explain to brands I need to at least 2 to 4 weeks to write a review, but even then 2 to 4 weeks will only tell you so much. Yeah, it's definitely tricky. I gotta, like, I love Stylovana. So this is not to put them down at all. They're really affordable, great selection. But they had reached out to me and they're like, we want to do, we want to collaborate with you. We'll offer you a code. We'll send you a bunch of products. But they were like, pick out the products, but then you need to have a video up in 2 weeks. And I was like, absolutely not. I was like, so I went back and just said, I have products I like that you guys sell. If you want to team up and do a video, we can do it that way. Otherwise, no thank you. It's just crazy. Like, how could I get on here and tell you guys anything? Like, it would just be really, I love them, but it would be really disingenuous. Deer ears are also, oh, okay, I will check them out. Yeah, because any like pig products tend to be not the best for dogs. And we've had to change his whole, he got sick from a dewormer and he won't eat any of his like regular puppy kibble. So we've been doing the raw diet, which is great for him. And we're doing like not fully raw, like we're doing kibble. Oh my God, there's like a lawnmower outside. We're doing kibble with like raw mix-ins. I've been following a pet nutritionist here on YouTube. That's amazing. But yeah, it's been interesting. Okay, I think that was it. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and kind of chatting with me at the end here. I appreciate you all. I will do a post in the group. Hey, stop chewing on the bed, you stinker. Mesenchymals like to chew on things. They're very destructive when you ignore them. So I will do a poll in the Facebook group on the next live, and we will do like a Geek and Gorgeous or the other video on Wednesday. Okay, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank God it's Friday. Oh my God, I'm getting more messy, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, you guys. If I can figure out how to end it, hold on. I think I just pressed the X, but we'll see. So.